All right, check 1, 2. Looks
Check
like I
1,
have a
2.
good volume. Looks like I have a good volume.
Yeah,
Like I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you gotta be.
You are
quiet.
now listening to The Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.
Welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name's RJ. Maybe.
My name's hopefully Andrew by this point.
Hopefully.
We're hoping for the best. This week we reviewed Fast and Furious 7. If you're wondering why are we reviewing them, this is because this is a podcast where we review movies that you should steer clear of.
We did not reviewed. We are reviewing. We're in the middle of this.
I am still a hair foggy.
And that's okay. We're going to talk about this movie, which is okay.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting movie, but yeah, so we're just going to...
Probably one of the better of the series so far that we have watched.
Yeah, we're going to just dive right in with a quick 2-minute summary. We're going to skip over all the news topics.
Oh, really?
Unless you had something you wanted to talk about.
Actually, yeah, you kind of do.
Okay, you know what? We're going to hit the news topic. We'll go into the 2-minute summary. Then we'll go into the quiz question.
Oh, we're going to do okay. Okay.
We'll go into characters, scenes, and moments.
A chicka what?
Oh, man, my voice hurt after that.
As it should.
And
your voice should never go that high.
And then we're going to go into our kind of final thoughts.
Wrapping it up.
In there will probably be an intermission. Probably between quiz question
probably not
and
going to happen,
characters.
but it's okay.
We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling or if we remember.
All right.
What's the news topic?
Yeah, so Disneyland actually had Alice in Wonderland. They remodeled it about a month ago.
They remodeled Alice in Wonderland?
Refurbished. They do the refurbishments of the rides.
Okay.
And then what happened is that they had it open for a month, and then they decided to shut it back down and refurbish it even more.
Why?
I have no idea. Nobody knows why. They just put up a fence around it.
So it was up for like a month, and then they took it down for a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, so it was up for... So they took it down.
Yeah.
Decided, okay, let's let it go. And then they shut it back down. Now it's been down for about... Or it's going to be reopened later on here in July.
How long was it up again?
For a month.
Okay. Interesting.
Exactly. So that is my news topic, is that what is up with Disneyland's refurbishment here?
Yeah. And speaking of Alice in Wonderland, be sure to check out our review of the 1999 Alice in Wonderland movie starring Martin Short.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, the turtle. That's the best one.
Yeah, he is. And that's basically it.
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yep, he was the
caterpillar. Caterpillar. Wow, I am still...
It's okay. It's okay. We're here.
I'm living life over here. I'm living life, folks.
All right, so we got a 2-minute summary.
Oh, you're looking over at me like I'm supposed to do it. All right. So you want to start this timer? No? All right. Give me a sec. I'm going to start this timer. Give me... Don't. Come on with that. We're professional here. Timer.
Oh, you're right. Hey, you start
Stopwatch.
the timer. Let's be professiontional. Let's get this done.
Yeah. Okay.
Chop, chop,
there
chop.
we go.
We're on time limit.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
2 seconds in. 3 seconds in. 4 seconds in. Here we go. We're going to go.
So who's doing it?
We start off the movie, and stuff is happening. And Han dies at the hands of Jason Statham. Jason Statham is monologuing next to his almost dead brother's body in a hospital that was all shot up by Jason Statham.
A.k.a. Shaw.
And then Jason Statham proceeds to put the gun in his brother's lap, framing him for...
multiple murders of a hospital.
But anyways, I digress. We jump into the movie. Shaw, played by Jason Statham, is hunting down the crew, and the crew is just trying to live their life.
Not really, but...
Well, not really.
They got hired.
They got hired to try to find a hacker, Ramsey.
That has a technology called God's Eye.
Yes, and God's eye can track anyone, anywhere, at any time, and at no point does anyone ever question the moral.
The power of this technology.
Yeah, just like there's some basic questions that should be answered there. Anyways, I got like 45 seconds.
They fight Kim Jong-un.
Stuff
They fight
happens.
Shaw.
Stuff happens.
The streets
Shaw
talk.
falls down in a parking garage. They get Ramsey. They save Ramsey. Ramsey's all good. They get God's eye. They save God's eye. They keep it from the bad guys. The bad guys die.
Kurt Russell gets shot.
Except for Shaw, who's put in a jail cell, and Hobbs is kind of beat up a little bit, but he's not because he flexes off his little Band-Aid, and then the movie ends.
Congratulations. Kinda, I guess that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to jump into this quiz question you got?
I actually have 2 quiz questions.
Oh.
Is that allowed?
You know what? This will be a first.
Okay.
Furious 7 is going to be the first movie that we allow 2 quiz questions. What is the first one? I got to Google this.
Oh, I got to Google this. So there's a scene that happens in the movie where they go to a party in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
And there's a DJ inside of that party. Which musical artist plays that DJ?
DJ Khalid.
No. Second question, while I have you think about that. There is Kurt Russell in this movie. Who was originally casted for the role of Kurt Russell?
Oh, that's interesting.
Character. Mm-hmm.
Can I throw out... So I already threw out my guess answer for the first one.
Okay.
I know it's wrong.
What's your second one?
So they already almost hired this guy previously. So I'm gonna lean back in.
Okay.
I want to say Tommy Lee Jones.
All right. We'll roll back to it later on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling I'm wrong, but like they almost brought him on in place of Hobbs. So like I feel like it's a possibility.
We'll see if you're right or not.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to jump to some characters?
Yes.
Oh no, I forgot to record something for the characters. So here's something. Characters. Who are they? What are they doing? I don't know what...
My number 1 character is going to be Roman.
Roman,
he's got to be on the list. I feel like every single time he shows up in these movies. And
yeah, he does.
Great comedic character. Comedy again. I think he has more comedy lines in this one than he did in the last one.
He's a lot more active. He was kind of sidelined in last movie or 2 movies.
He was kind of sidelined in this one too, but when he was on the screen, he definitely ate it.
He owned it. They gave him just more screen time.
More comedy roles, more comedy.
Yeah. I feel like they pulled back on Roman and not Roman.
Taj?
No, Ben Diesel and Paul Walker's character. I've seen 7 of these movies. You should figure I'd remember their names.
Dom? And
Yes.
Brian O'Connor?
Sure. So I felt like they pulled back on that relationship a bit and then leaned more into Tej and Roman. Yeah.
That should be a movie itself. There we go.
Tej and Roman?
Yeah, there's a spin-off.
Yeah. My number 1, I'm going to say my boy Han.
Your boy Han.
My boy Han.
Didn't really have an acting role in this movie, but that's cool.
Okay. Hear me out. I'm doing this in a different way here. He had like 2 seconds of screen time as he died, showing a flashback to the last movie where he died. And then he had a little funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of helped kick things off for their hunting for Shaw while Shaw's hunting for them kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's my number 1 character because he kick-started the movie into what it became.
Sure.
He was kind of that pivot point for the movie, I felt. So he is my favorite character in his importance in this. Plus, he's got to be mentioned at least once in our reviews.
Oh, yeah. As long as he's around-ish.
Yeah. Does he appear in flashbacks in the next movie? Because I need a good pick.
So my number 2 is Ramsey. No,
oh, you!
I'm kidding. My number 2 is actually gonna be Shaw with Jason Statham.
Okay.
I like how Jason Statham used bollocks. Bollocks. I think he says bollocks in like the first scene or first part of the movie. You hear bollocks, and I think that's just like a Jason Statham like staple line in any movie. And the fact that he said it in a Fast and Furious movie, bam.
I felt like they could have like had more fun with him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the movie, like he just didn't have that much screen time. He just didn't do that much.
Don't worry, he's not done yet.
Upcoming review, Hobbs and Shaw?
He's not done yet.
Okay, interesting. Anyways, my number 2 was already spoiled because it is Ramsey.
It is Ramsey. Why Ramsey? Talk to me about Ramsey. Tell me what you like about Ramsey.
I thought she was an enjoyable character.
Okay, is that all that was enjoyable about her?
She was a fun new character that brought some.
Sure.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She brought like an interesting kind of dynamic to the group, and it gets these movies get stale after 7 of them.
Stale? I felt like this like.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But they get kind of stale.
No.
And
they get better. It's like milk. It ages beautifully. Fine aged milk.
Like I love. We'll get to this.
Have you heard of eggnog?
But anyways, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Cheese.
I enjoyed her. She was good.
Get the little bit of mold on it. Fantastic. Just pick it off. You're good.
You're picking off mold off of milk?
Cheese.
Oh.
After the milk turned into the cheese.
Fair enough. You should start your own business.
Moldy milk cheese.
RJ's moldy milk.
Cheese. Coming to you soon. Freshly picked.
Freshly
out of RJ's refrigerator.
Please call it RJ's freshly picked cheese.
Out of RJ's refrigerator. All right, my number 2 character.
Don't worry, but we cut off the mold.
Or my number 3 character.
Yes.
My number 3 character is going to be Mr. Hobbs.
Really?
Listen, he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. As we mentioned in our previous podcast, is that every single time Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes on screen, he will be on this podcast because he's a great friend to the show.
Yeah.
Not really, but he will be one day.
Soon, maybe. I don't know. Another 200 episodes.
But Dwayne The Rock Johnson, over the top acting, loved it. Let's continue that.
Yeah, he was fun in this. He did not have a lot of screen time.
But when he was on there, he owned it.
Dude, that point when he's got the cast on and he flexes, it just pops off. It's like, I kind of wish I could just like do that with like clothing in general.
You don't?
Have you seen me?
Yes.
Like a toothpick.
Oh, I thought you just kind of, put those the ones where you put the thumb inside your mouth and kind of blow really hard, and then all of a sudden you blow up like a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
My bad.
Unfortunately not. I'm not as stretchable as you might think.
Well, it's okay.
I am not Mr. Fantastic.
Well, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, number 3 for me as Hobbs.
All right. I am going to go. I don't remember this guy's name at all. But I'm going to go with Kurt Russell. It's my number 3.
Okay.
I have a hard time hating Kurt Russell in any role he's in.
Walt Disney's last words, Kurt Russell.
Really?
You never knew that?
No.
He wrote it down on a piece of paper, Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's good.
That's why all of a sudden he showed up in a lot of Disney movies at a young age.
Interesting.
Kurt Russell owned a professional baseball team here in the worst city of the world, Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mr. Kurt Russell.
But anyways, no, I enjoyed the dude. He was chewing up the scenery. He's got the little stupid mithril armor thing that he's got going on.
You don't?
Huh?
You don't? You live in Portland. I feel like you should have some.
Look at this. It's about as white, but like, no.
So, let's talk about some scenes then. I know, dude. Yeah, scenes.
Yeah. No, I hit my 3.
We're off to talk about scenes.
What's happening?
The magical
What is going
wizard
on?
of scenes.
I'm so confused. Everything. All right, what is your number one scene?
My number one scene is actually going to be when they drop out of the car with the parachutes, or they drop out of the airplane with the parachutes.
Oh, yeah?
That is my favorite, personally. Just the comedic behind it. Roman, I'm sorry, boys, I'm skipping out. And then all of a sudden he decides to jump.
It's so last minute that he's just... It's just like... It's... When a movie's just like, oh, hey, we're going to pretend we forgot about this character, and then they show up just to save the moment. You know the Ex Machina scenes? This movie's like nothing but that.
I love it. I'm here for it. This movie was awesome.
We'll get to that.
Okay. But yes, that's my number one scene.
All right. So you're doing that forest chase, the mountaintop.
More just the plane drop.
The plane drop. So my number two scene is actually going to be in Abu Dhabi when they're hopping from skyscraper to skyscraper.
Great scene.
It was fun. And my main question is, why did the guy take out the brakes?
Of the car?
Yeah. Like, was he just planning on, like, driving at once and then being like, all right, it's time to tuck and roll. I'm just going to dive out in the middle of the desert.
Time to just leave the...
Or just middle of the street. Just like, this is it. I've hit 64 miles an hour?
Whatever it was, and left it in the...
Just leave it?
Mm-hmm.
But why? Why take out the brakes?
I guess when you're a billionaire prince, it don't matter.
How did he get it up there? Freight elevator and then drive it in?
When you're a billionaire prince, doesn't matter.
I'm just like, what are the logistics of getting the car in there when it doesn't have brakes?
Piece by piece.
Piece by piece. So it was built in the condo.
Yeah, maybe they took it apart, built it back in there, and they forgot to put the brakes back in. That makes sense to me.
That would make more sense. But there's got to be a freight elevator. You saw like the size of like some of the lighting elements in there,
But
like
that room
the
was
chandeliers.
small.
It was a very small room.
They had to rebuild it in there probably.
Do you think that car was originally like in his living room and then he just built a wall up
Around it?
Yeah.
Potentially. I can see that.
But no, that scene's my number one. And also just like the weird carelessness that this movie has with like the mountain chase where it's like they're clearly avoiding hitting bad guys falling out of a truck.
Wait. Those are two separate scenes.
I know.
No. You gotta wait for your number two now.
No.
Yes.
I'm highlighting.
Okay, if you're gonna wait for the what moment, you keep it as your what moment. My number two is going to be when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sheds his cast, goes and saves the day by crashing a ambulance into a drone, grabs the gun off the drone, and says, "I am the cavalry." That whole series of events is going to be my number two.
That one big long string of like 3 or 4 scenes?
No. Just those two together. The cast and the cavalry.
Fair enough.
What you got for number two?
I'm going to go right after your car drop scene. I'm going to go with that car chase down the mountain hill. Mountain top. Wow.
Okay.
Words do not come well.
Where they do the bowling action, where they split the cars, and after making a line, just smack into each other.
His little drive off the cliff, tumble down, and then he still survives. Yeah.
With Ramsey.
Yeah.
In the tumble cage.
Yeah. So that's just going to be my number two. It was stupid. It was fun. I'm having trouble remembering some other scenes, so...
My number three scene is going to be at the very end where...
Jeez, we're doing 3 scenes?
Yeah, where Dom and Shaw are fighting. And Dom, they shoot a missile at Dom, cracks the parking garage, and he goes, "You want a street fight?" And then smacks the ground. Stomps the ground, causes the rest of the building to come down.
My number 3 I literally just had it. Oh, yeah. So, my number 3. I know what it is. I know what it is. And for fans of Fast and Furious, please, if you don't like this opinion, please at Big Danger 13.
Oh gosh.
Cuz this scene was so kind of lame. But at the very end,
the driving away.
They drive away.
That's not lame. That is like, when you talk to a Fast and the Furious fan, they'll tell you that they got a little bit of tears when they watch that.
No, I get that. But it's maybe I don't know that culture. Maybe I'm just like, I'm not enough of a... What are you doing?
Adjusting.
Okay. I don't know that culture. I don't know the mythos behind Fast and Furious. Like, I'm just not there in the vibe, in the groove. You know, I'm here and I'm living my life, and I see a scene where two guys are like, "Hey, we'll always be family," and the other guy's like, "Yeah, and you thought you'd drive away without saying goodbye," and Vince is like, "No."
And they do that "I See You Again" song with Khalifa, Charlie Puth. That is fantastic.
And then they drive away into the sunsets and go separate ways.
Fantastic.
It's
fantastic.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Can we?
We don't get any better than that in cinematology.
No.
Yes,
I'm going on a rant here. Can we please, movies, if an actor dies during or before filming, and there's a moment in it that the character could have died and maybe should have died. Shut up, RJ. This is important. Can we please just let the character die at that moment? We don't need to do some bad CGI over the face. We don't. I mean, really, it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. But like, we don't need to do that. Like, we don't need the sweet send off. Like, have the moment. Stop having the ex machina write-ins to like save the character. Same thing with first one comes in my mind is like Carrie Fisher in Last Jedi, where she has a moment where she's dead. And they bring her back, but she's dead in real life. Like, let the character die at that point. You're bringing them back, and it's just kind of disrespectful to the person, don't you think? Like, it's...
Oh, you're done? You done with your rant?
It's just like, you don't even treat them like a normal character. It's like you have to write around them. It's like, okay, you know.
Are we done?
No, we're fine.
You're fine with your rant?
I'm done.
You sure?
If you have any questions about my rant, go ahead and just at me at Big Danger.
Oh gosh. Anyways. All right. So that brings us into our what moments, correct?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What was that? My what moment's gonna
What
be
is this movie?
throughout the whole movie. Is it just me or does Paul Walker? Even though I get that Paul Walker passed away in this movie, that they use his brother. I feel like they make him look like he's sick.
They do. He looks pale.
Like his eyes look bigger than normal. Like overly big for his face. Like he looks like he's sick of some sort.
The eyes look weird. Some of the neck looks kind of weird too, especially around like that jawline.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could get. That's where they kind of stitched it together.
They didn't do bad. This is probably one of the better CGI.
This is definitely on the better end
of a person at least.
And they did it kind of right. It was like during golden hour, so you're not having like harsh shadows or everything. Everything's just kind of like that overcast, evenly lit, but it's still not like a great look.
It's better than, as you alluded to, Carrie Fisher, which came way after this. So I give actually the Fast and the Furious crew props for that one, but still, His look throughout the whole movie is kind of. Is he okay?
Yeah, he looks kind of sickly, and I imagine that's why they kind of wrote his character off-ish for a lot of it, and they leaned more into Dom,
Yep.
Tej, Roman, etc.
Yep.
Obviously. So one of my what moments is the amount of times that we're catching people with cars in this movie. I counted 4 or 5 times.
Catching people with cars, like when they throw somebody onto a car?
Yeah, so like somebody jumping out of a back of a moving van, somebody falling off of like a cliff, somebody jumping off a bus, somebody.
Why does that shock you so far? When we've been watching this series for quite some time now.
No.
It's happened for the majority of the movies.
It has. Maybe once.
What? No.
Once per movie.
No, it happened like 3 or 4 times in the first movie.
No, it didn't happen
yes,
that many times.
Did.
We're not doing this that many times in the first movie. We're doing it a lot in this movie.
No.
100%. 1,000%. We're doing it so much in this movie. This movie. Okay.
Maybe you need to go back and rewatch the first 6 movies.
I really don't want to.
But it sounds like you need to.
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
I don't need to do anything.
Okay. Well,
you're not my dad.
I think a good what moment in this movie is when they are hopping skyscrapers. Fantastic part of the movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they blow up behind him, Statham.
Okay.
Throws a grenade after him.
Yeah.
Shoots him into a skyscraper. Do you have another what moment at all in this movie?
Yeah. The Rock was missing for most of it, and then he just shows up, crashes an ambulance into a drone.
Pops the cast. Let's not forget about that.
He pops the cast, crashes a ambulance into a drone off a bridge after it was going through a tunnel, which I have a lot of questions about. How do you know about the timing?
Yeah.
That's a lot of tunnel.
And that's a fast drone.
So how are you timing that up right to be like, well, okay, do I wait 30 seconds and then drive it off the edge?
I agree.
And also just like the whole end fight seems to take place within like a 2-block radius, because like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson rips the machine gun off the drone and then proceeds to walk over to the parking garage.
Saves the day for Dom.
And saves the day for Dom. And it's like, this is a massive city. It should be a lot farther than that.
I concur. Well, it's Los Angeles, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
My last what moment's going to be how Vin Diesel cracks a building by stepping.
With his foot. The street always wins.
Yep. That is my last what moment.
Why so serious?
Why so serious?
So like, my what moment is like Dom not questioning Kurt Russell's character at all.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Kurt Russell's like, hey, if you get this hacker, I can get you Shaw, easy peasy. And they're like, okay. But like Shaw's a wanted man for 6 years, and it's like, just none of this raised any questions at all. And it's like really basic questions. Like, if Shaw's been a wanted man for 6 years, like why?
It's the chip. He needed the chip so they can find Shaw.
Right.
And then he'd have the team to chase down Shaw, but...
Right, but they always have the team, and they know that Shaw is going after Dom. So why not just let Dom stay or do whatever he's doing, have the team follow, and just be prepared like they were before when they first saw Dom and Shaw fighting together in the factory warehouse situation with all the fans, and they just raided the place like 30 seconds after the two showed up. So like, you know, that team can show up just super fast. Like they're there, they're set up, they're dropping down on like grappling hooks and all that stuff. So they show up with like a dozen men later in the movie, and like that goes south, but like we already know that they can show up. They just need him to kind of reveal himself, and they know that he's going to do that given that he's going after Dom and the crew. So why not just tag along with Dom and the crew.
So
and they catch this guy that they're after.
Which Shaw do you think is better?
Which Shaw? This one.
Jason Statham's?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
All right. What was your so you had 2 quiz questions this time.
Yes, so first question. There was a musical artist that played a DJ in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Who was the musical artist that was playing the DJ?
Don't know.
T-Pain.
Who's T-Pain?
Buy you a drink?
Googling all this later.
There you go.
And then you had a second one. Who was originally cast to
For
play?
Kurt Russell's role.
Yeah. Who was I right? Was it Tommy Lee Jones?
No, it was Mr. Denzel Washington.
Really?
He was originally casted for Kurt Russell's role.
Huh. Kurt Russell, 100% better pick. I love Denzel, but like...
Kurt Russell for this movie is probably a better fit.
Yeah. He's got the fun factor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Denzel would probably be a little bit more too serious for this role.
A little bit.
Even with Tommy Lee Jones, I think he'd been too serious for this role.
Tommy Lee Jones would have been... No. Unless he's doing like the Batman Two-Face kind of...
Still, I don't
where
think
he's trying to like
fit.
one-up Jim Carrey.
Not in this one.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. Go.
Final thoughts. This is probably the best one that we have seen so far besides the first one. I mean, once again, same old, same old. Don't watch it. Probably PG-13. Keep to that guideline. Maybe watch it with your kid. Like, make sure if you're watching it as an adult with a kid, make sure that you are watching it with them. There is some booty cheeks.
Yeah.
Some cheeks in this movie, I would say. A little bit more than the past movies. I mean, there was a lot probably
more,
in the first 2.
Yeah.
Then there's always booty cheeks in these movies. Let's be honest. There's always some cheeks. But
you're really obsessed with this.
well, yeah. But then they went away, and then they came back a little bit heavier in this one, I feel like.
Yeah, they did. There was a lot more like party scenes in this one.
Yes. They did go back to the racing.
A little bit.
So that was kind of nice a little bit. But in the end, I really enjoyed this one compared to 6, 5, 4. We haven't done 3 yet.
No, we haven't.
I actually enjoyed this one more than 2.
Interesting.
And
because you were a big diehard for 2.
One, I was not. One,
I
one is just an OG. I gotta stick to my guns, and so far I'd say 1 then 7 right now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna say this one's probably the best of the bunch. My problem is like all these movies really bleed hard together. So if you're not like, oh, I gotta watch some like cookie cutter kind of action movie, and you want to see one of these, at least from where we're at, we haven't seen 8, 9, or 10. This would be the one I would recommend to watch, and then just don't watch the rest. That's just kind of my honest opinion.
I disagree with that, but it's okay.
This one's
You
the
gotta
most
know
fun.
about family, Andrew.
And you can totally get it by watching this.
No, you don't. You don't get
This
about
one
family.
had so many stupid moments.
Family.
And so many stupid stunts.
Family.
And it was just stupid fun.
Family.
But it's not quite there.
Family.
It's not quite there.
Family.
And with that, if you want to get a hold of us, be sure to at Backseat Critics on Instagram
And
or
family.
Twitter. Or you can email us at thebackseatcritics@gmail.com.
We out.
Bye.
God, no.
What do you mean no?
I said no.
What do you mean no?
No.
No.
I said no.
You don't say no to me.